Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of In the Kitchen Cookin'. Today, if you can't tell by the music, we're going to be making another stop to the southern states, and we're going to make a seafood gumbo. About 6 or 7 years ago, my friends and I went to a food truck rally at the Santa Anita racetrack, and when we got there, we all split up and went our separate ways. Now this was probably in August, I want to say, so it was at least 102 degrees. And when you go to the horse races, you want to dress up. So I had a long sleeve navy blue, almost this color, shirt on, slacks, and a bow tie. So as I was walking around food trucks trying to look for something to get, I started to panic because I was taking too long. And mind you, there was probably at least 100 food trucks at this food truck rally. So I finally settled on a food truck, got in line, got my food, and I met up with my friends. And I asked them, hey, what'd you get? And they're like, hey, I got this gourmet hot dog. And the other person, I was like, hey, what'd you get? And they're like, oh, I got this, these gourmet chicken wings, all perfect summer food. What did I get? I got gumbo, hot gumbo. And so to add insult to injury, we had to actually carry our food back at least a quarter mile to our seats to eat it. So I was carrying this hot soup in a long sleeve blue shirt and a bow tie and pants, and I was sweating like crazy. So now it's an inside joke with my friends that when it gets to be super hot, we say it's perfect gumbo weather. Well, in reality, it is perfect gumbo weather right now in California. For us, it's cold. It's still 55, 65 range. So I thought, well, this season is still good. I'd redeem myself and make a nice seafood gumbo. Let's get at it. Up until this point, most of our recipes have been pretty budget friendly and not of a lot of ingredients, but since I got that stimulus check,
cash money, I'm gonna make it rain,
I thought I'd go all out and really get the best ingredients such as crab and shrimp and a Julian sausage. So those things don't really come cheap. Also, if you don't like seafood, I recommend just doing the sausage in the chicken gumbo. It'll still be very, very good, but we're going all out today. Just to talk about some other ingredients in here. We've got a green and red pepper, which we've chopped up. We have some butter. We have some Cajun seasoning. We have some thyme. We have some garlic. We have some chopped onions and green onions. And we also have celery. We're going to be mixing in some beer, so that's a golden ale that you want to get if you're going to be following along. And then we have some Worcestershire sauce. Nope, I'm pretty sure that's not even close to being correct. And then we also have some whole okra. Now, my recipe didn't call for okra, but I know it's a staple, so hopefully I figure out the right time to throw this in. And then, as I mentioned, we have some shrimp and some crab. So this should be very good. I'm very, very excited to get into it. Our first step is going to be to pink the shrimp. So we're going to throw 1/4 cup of butter inside our pot and stir that shrimp brown until it turns pink. We got a nice pink going on, but as the shrimp melted, it created liquid. That's what things do when they melt. But I'm gonna err on the side of caution and drain this. So let's do that real quick. Now that our shrimp is nice and pink, we're gonna add 2 32-ounce chicken broths, and we're gonna bring it to a boil and then let it rest and simmer for about 15 minutes. That I've moved our shrimp and broth to another burner where it's going to continue to simmer for about 15 minutes. On our main burner, I've added a bigger pot where we're first going to brown the sausage. So let's throw that in there right now. And as we brown the sausage, we're going to remove it and put it in a bowl for later. Up next, we're going to add 1/4 cup of butter and a 1/2 cup of oil. So now that our butter's melted, we're gonna add the flour. With the flour, we're gonna stir this for 30 to 40 minutes off and on, and that's gonna create the roux, R-O-U-X. I honestly don't know what that is, but it seems like an important part, so hopefully we don't screw it up. So this is starting to bubble up, which I think is good. It's supposed to be nice and thick. Eventually it will turn a dark brown, and so I'll see you on the other side.
A few minutes later.
All right, we got a nice caramel color here. It's nice and thick, exactly what the recipe called for. I still don't know what this part is, but it smells like a donut. But right next to the shrimp, it smells like a shrimp donut. So, hate to put that thought in your head of that existing, but that is what it smells like. So now we're going to add the onion. We're going to dump that in there, and we're going to cook it for about 5 minutes and get it nice and softened. With the onions getting softened, we're going to add this celery. And the green peppers and red pepper. I'm also going to add some of the okra here. So now we're going to pour it in our beer. Now it smells like a donut that was drenched in beer. So this next part I am a little nervous for. I'm going to put this on top of my big pot, and we're going to strain the shrimp chicken stock through here. And then we're going to let it simmer for an hour. As we know, I am notorious for not reading the recipe very carefully. So I set my timer for 1 hour, and I thought to myself, I better double check that recipe to make sure I'm not skipping a step before I wait an entire hour and realize I blew it. Well, the good news is I would have blown it. I did catch something. I'm supposed to be adding the sausage now, including the Cajun seasoning and the thyme, as well as a couple bay leaves. So I'm going to throw those in there now, and then I'll see you in an hour after I do that.
One eternity later.
We have about 10 minutes left. I'm going to drop in the shrimp and make sure it's finally cooked and coated all the way through. And now that we've added the shrimp, we're gonna add our final ingredient, which is the crab meat. All right, after 2.5 hours, I've made it. The food is finally in front of me. I put white rice down at the bottom, and then I put the gumbo on top of the rice. Here's a better quality picture, just so you can see what that looks like. It smells most amazing. I know I say that for all of my meals, even the one with too much vinegar, but this is probably the meal I am most proud of. I haven't tasted it yet, but before we dive in, I did want to sprinkle a little bit of Slap Ya Mama on top. That was more than a little bit. So let's get some rice, some shrimp, get some rice, get really in there, get a good bite. Make sure to blow on it because it is very hot. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. That is really, really delicious. I'm not gonna lie, I did not think it was gonna come out that well. That's got some kick. I don't know if it was the sausage or the Slap Ya Mama I put on there, but whew, that is really, really good. So I'm pretty damn proud of myself. That's probably the best meal I've ever cooked in my life. I'm very, very well pleased. Well, before I bid you adieu and before my lips melt off, because this is pretty spicy, I did want to thank you all for watching my last video. It got 170 plus views. And those are all pretty organic. I resisted in watching myself. So probably 160 of those views are legitimate. So again, that far surpassed our last video. So I really appreciate you spending the time with me. Also wanted to give a huge shout out to Jacqueline. She took a stab at her own chicken pot pie, and look at hers. It even had heart-shaped cutouts. So much more presentable than mine. Hopefully it tasted even better than mine. So if you took a stab at any of my other videos, or even the gumbo this time, I'd love for you to send me a quick video or even a picture of your finished work, and I'd love to tell about it and post it on the next video. Also, I would love for this video to get us up to 69 subscribers.
69 dudes!
So we can do it because 60% of you watch my videos, but you're not subscribed yet. So I'd love for you to subscribe and get those numbers up and continue to help me become YouTube famous. So with that, I will now bid you adieu, and I hope to see you by the bayou next time. Have a good night.